What is up, guys, and welcome back to Power Metal Gamer. Today I'm going to do a video completely out of the ordinary. It's going to be an album review on Ghost's 4th studio album, Prequelle or Prequelle, or however way you want to pronounce it. I do feel I have to do this since Ghost are one of my favourite bands ever. And I've been following them non-stop since 2010 when a friend of mine let me hear the album Opus Eponymous. Now, I believe that track I first heard was Ritual, and then I heard Elizabeth, and yeah, that whole album blew me away. They had a kind of 70s sound to them. It's kind of like Black Sabbath meets Blue Oyster Cult. But ever since I heard that album, I was like, yeah, I'm a fan. I love these guys. And as some of you guys know, I'm a huge fan of horror. So most of you don't know, Misfits are my favourite band. Growing up, I was always a fan of bands with dark theatrics and creepy lyrics and vocals. And I know Ghost and Misfits are completely different in terms of sound, but they share some similarities. One example being that they hide their darker, sinister lyrics with an upbeat tone which feels happy, but when you actually listen to the vocals or read them, they're quite out there. Like, you know, I like to look at it as evil and poetic, sugar-coated in melodic happiness. So quote that there down below in the comments. So yeah, Prequelle came out yesterday, June 1st, and what felt like a very long wait. Yeah, it was 3 years since Meteora, and I've been listening to Prequelle over the last 24 hours. I absolutely love it. I got the Deluxe edition digitally, which came with 2 bonus cover tracks, and I'm picking up the vinyl very soon. So where to begin talking about this masterpiece? You can bet your ass I love this. So we'll begin here. Like the 3 previous albums, there's always an opener of some sort. You kind of like Opus's Deus Culpa or Infestissimum's, like, well, Infestissimum, and Meteora's Spirit. Prequelle's intro is a creepy nursery rhyme called Ashes, and it literally sends shivers down my spine when I first heard it. I was like, holy shit. And then it transitions beautifully into an upbeat 80s sounding song called Rats. I don't know why, but when I first heard the chorus, I instantly thought of Queen's Flash, he'll save every one of us, like the Flash Gordon song. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that. And man, even the video for that single had a lot of nods to classics from, you know, like Flashdance, Michael Jackson's Thriller, Dancing in the Rain. You gotta see for yourselves though. I'll leave the link in the description for that video if you haven't seen it already. But some of my friends said the video was very homoerotic, but the song rocked. I love the video and the song, so it's really good. I liked it. So when Rats ends, it moves on to track 3, which is called Fate. This is the heaviest track on the album. You'll have your head banging until your hair falls off. It has a funky killer bass, deafening drums, heavy filthy riffs and solos. Now to lighten down the mood with track 4, which is called See the Light. The song starts out bittersweet with a calming piano tone, light kick drum, and the Cardinal singing softly. And when it moves into a like crunchy, poppier, melodic sound, I'm telling you, man, Tobias Forge's voice gets better with every album. He's got some variety in terms of, you know, vocal range, from deep to high falsetto. Man, he's absolutely brilliant. Now on to track 5. This being the first awesome instrumental track on the album. It starts off with the organ with a slight drum roll, and then into dual guitars with a build-up riffs which goes into a bit of an epic synth on the keys. Also, for those of you who followed the Rats on the Road tour live clips here on YouTube or actually seen them live, I'm highly jealous if you've seen them live. So you'll know of Papa Nils' incredible sleazy saxophone solo. Yeah, they included this on the album and it's fucking glorious. Now on to track number 6, and this is called Danse Macabre, or however way you pronounce that. I do know it is a French word, as something to do with death and grim, grisly atmosphere, whatever. It can be used in arts and the likes. It's like if I built a throne out of skeletons. That would be macabre art. It's hard to pronounce that word. But trailing off. But yeah, if there was another hit single off this album, this track would be a perfect candidate. It has an upbeat 80s sound that you'd probably hear in something like a Rocky training montage or something like that. Makes you want to slam your fist into the sky and kick the shit out of a punching bag, or ex-friends that are assholes, you know. Gets you pumped up, and it has the catchiest chorus I've ever heard Ghost do. It's perfect. There's a video of a few famous faces from Kirk Hammett, Phil Anselmo, Shadows, drummer from Anthrax, rocking out to it. It's over on Ghost's page. I'll leave that video link in the description. Check that out. Now on to Pro Memoria. We've had a taste of this track on one of Ghost's videos called Chapter 3 Back on the Road, where they killed off all the papas and introduced Cardinal Copia. This was the ballad of the album. Think of He Is from Meliora with a darker tone. It's got a hauntingly beautiful piano and organ playing, and the Cardinal carries the track with an airy poetic song about death. It kind of makes me sad thinking about the Papa bloodline and them dying off, man. It's really weird. Now on to track 8, which is Witch Image. This is probably my favourite track off the album, but it's a hard one. The whole album is perfect for the most part. Witch Image opens up with a 4-drum beat and a catchy riff with a kind of psycho sounding noise in the background, kind of like ee 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 ee. But you get the gist. It's got yet again another really catchy chorus, and it's moving, and it really shows how diverse this band can be. I love this track. I really love this track. Now moving on to track 9, which is their second instrumental on the album. This one is called Helvets Fönster. I believe it's Swedish for Hell Window. Oh, I read some hilarious thing on Reddit there a while back that Hell Window is basically the side boob of women's dresses that appeared in the Middle Ages. And basically, sinful men would look into their eternal damnation as sinners. Get that. Hey, I've looked into hell a few times and it ain't that bad. Anyway, moving on, this track is very, very good, and it has an airy, haunting piano theme again, and something that sounds like a pan flute playing like a magical melody, and it kind of gets a heavier tone in the middle of the song, and then it gets more progressive, and sounds like something, you know, that Opeth would do. Actually, speaking of Opeth, I think Michael Ackerfield did some guest shit on this album too. Quote me that in the comments down below. The last parts of the song sound very medieval, or something that you'd hear Winter Sun do, or some power metal band. It's magical, but when you close your eyes you kind of drift off into another land. It's very good, and it kind of brought a tear to my eyes when I first listened to it. Really, really good track. Now on to track 10. It's the final track on the standard album without touching the 2 incredible bonus tracks in the deluxe edition. Track 10 is called Life Eternal, and it's like kind of a good boy track. It's slow and melodic and makes you kind of sway left and right. It's also bittersweet, and it's quite moving in a way. It's perfect end to the album, and that was perfect trip right there. Now let's see what they did with the Pet Shop Boys and Leonard Cohen's work. Now, if you've listened to some of Ghost's other covers, like the Beatles' Here Comes the Sun, Abbott's I'm a Marionette, Rocky Erickson's If You Have Ghosts, Eurythmics' Missionary Man, or Echo and the Bunnymen's Nocturnal Me, then you will know Ghost makes them songs their own. I'll say it again, there's such a diverse sound, and there's nobody quite like them in this day and age. I believe that they are very important to music, and they deserve all the recognition that they're getting today. Now, what can I say about the Pet Shop Boys cover on here? I think Ghost fucking rocked it. Creepy organ check, choir check, balls to the floor riffs and drums check, Forge on point with vocals as usual check. Not gonna lie, but I like the original track too, along with a few other random Pet Shop Boys songs. They were very excellent musicians back in the day. I do love what Ghost have done with It's a Sin, and it fits perfectly with the theme of this album. If you don't know what the theme is, do go look it up. I'll be here for hours trying to explain it. But in short, this is what Tobias Forge said about it. Now onto the final track of the album, well, the deluxe edition, is the late Leonard Cohen's Avalanche. If you've ever listened to his work, he was an excellent writer and a poet, and he delivered his artwork through music. Avalanche is a dark song that will really kind of grip your soul. I can see why Forge chose to do this. It sounds like something that you'd hear on an early Ghost album, with Forge using his deep, airy voice. It's just as powerful as Cohen's original, but it gets some serious heavy sounds toward the ends to kind of staple that message into your face. It is excellent. Now the album as a whole, what can I say? I'm literally blown away by every track on here. Ghost's best album, possibly. I do need more time with it to let it sink in and see if it stands the test of time. Knowing me, I'll over listen toward the point where I won't listen to much after. I'll still love it either way, as it was definitely worth the 3-year wait. I give this album a 9.5 out of 10, but I do wish it was a bit longer. It's just wishful thinking, but it's a fantastic album. Do go support this band by buying the album, either digitally or physically. I highly recommend it. Also, buy their merch and spread their love to other people that you may think would like it. If you like this video, be sure to do the thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that bell for future notifications. I do a ton of different shit on here all the time. And have an awesome weekend, guys. As always, keep the power.